Hello, everybody. This video is for anybody who is a witness or a defendant in the trial. This is Wednesday's class. So just so you guys know, I spent a good chunk of the day on Monday after the class sessions went up, and I went through everybody's stuff, their assignments, make sure everybody was on the same page with things. So I marked down notes on a lot of you guys' stuff. So please check the things that you've turned in. I also made this. You guys do not have access to this, but it kind of gives you an idea of kind of what I see and what I kind of took little notes. So this is for second period. So Preston, if you're watching this, man, you have a lot of work to do. You have not started your affidavit yet. Your witness defendant doc needs work. So again, the witness defendant doc should look like. Let's see here. Where's it at? Uh, this is Aiden's, but um, I don't have this from you. Again, it's all spelled out for what you need to do. You have a lot of work to do, man. So you need to get going. Your affidavit hasn't even started yet. Joey Brockovich, you're doing a pretty good job, man. I made a couple of notes. You need to make a couple changes to the witness defendant doc. Looks like this. I think I made some notes in there for you. Joey, you also need to work on your affidavit. Need some work as well. I think I made some notes in there as well. I think. So please read those. Kai, same thing. Your witness defendant sheet needs a little bit of work. Your affidavit questions need to be answered. So your affidavit, you wrote questions up, you need to answer them. So please make sure you do that. Michaela, you're doing a great job so far. You look to be complete with what you need to be doing so far. So for you, just make sure that you do your interview. Again, I'll talk about that in a minute. Aiden, same thing. You're ready for the interview. Shorty, you're ready for the interview. Holden, same thing, man. You have a lot of work to do. So you have your witness defendant doc that should look like. I'm sorry. This needs to be done. You need to do your affidavit. So you need to go through all those things that I had from way back when to go through those and make sure that you're working on them. So that's that. Jada, you're looking like you're good. You're ready to be interviewed. Noah Lotman, man, you need to work on everything. I don't know what's going on. So look at your character, your person. You need to be working on that and getting your witness defendant sheet, affidavit done. Eventually set up your interview. Chelsea, you're good to go. Izzy, look like you need a little bit of work on your affidavit, but overall pretty good. You're for the most part ready to be interviewed. Emma, you're ready for the interview. Autumn, I think there's a minor change I put in there for your affidavit, but you're doing a good job. You're ready for the interview. And Makai, you're good for the most part. A couple small changes on your affidavit, but you're pretty much ready for the interview as well. Now to sixth period. Ronnie, I put some notes in here. Your affidavit needs some work. Heather, I think you're ready to go. You're ready to be interviewed. Jerry, you're good. You're ready to be interviewed. Danny, there's a clarification I put on your witness defendant doc, and your affidavit needs some work. Matt McMahon, you haven't started your affidavit yet, so make sure you're working on that. Jolie, you barely started on your affidavit. You need to really get going on that. Michael, your affidavit needs a lot of work. Again, guys, for the affidavits, look at this. Look at the sample I give you. You guys all have a sample in your Google Docs, a sample affidavit. The only thing that's different is that you need to answer the questions. But look through that. I mean, I could just give you a pretty good template on what to use. Hunter, your witness defendant sheet needs a lot of work. You need to make a couple small additions to your affidavit. Angel, your affidavit needs a little bit of your affidavit needs a few adjustments as well, but for the most part, you could be ready for your interview soon. Maggie, a couple small changes to your affidavit, but you're ready to be interviewed. Schmitty, same thing, a few minor changes to your affidavit. You're ready for an interview. Zach, you need to work on your witness defendant sheet. I made some comments and you never did them, and your affidavit looks barely touched. So you have some work to do, brother. Nico, you're working on your affidavit. So really, I guess Ronnie and Heather, Jerry, uh, Danny, I guess Matt, Jolie, um, most people in here are ready for their interview. You can always go back and do what you need to do. Also, um, I set up a meeting doc. I shared this with the lawyers in their video. But if you guys look in Google Classroom, I have, so here's the defense team, Mallory and Emma. if you're in the defense and second period, Preston, Joey, Shorty, Izzy, Noah, you're on that team. So you need to meet with these lawyers like today on Wednesday. You need to have your one-on-one. You guys should have started that on Monday. I don't know if you did or didn't. But make sure that when you guys do, highlight this or make a note in here that you met. So please, same for the prosecution. If you're Edie and Sam, these are your witnesses who you need to meet with. So guys, if Kai or Jada or Michaela, you can also reach out to the lawyers too. Don't wait on them. Try to get your interview done. Sixth period, same thing. Savannah and Ethan here, these are people who you're assigned to. So again, reach out to your lawyers and make this happen. Make a note in here or highlight so I know that you met with them. And then same for the prosecution team down here. All right, so where's that located at? If you guys go into Google Classroom, you guys look in the Google Meet breakout group, you'll see meeting schedule, and here's all your breakout rooms. So this is where you'll make your meeting note at right there. You should all have access to that. All right. Okay. So what do you need to have done? First of all, here's your questions doc. So all your questions should be done. So basically, guys, this is what you're meeting with your lawyers about. You're going over the questions that you created, that you gave them. Now, again, make this clear. So Shorty, for example, here's all your questions. You and your lawyer are going to sit down. You're going to have your character profile in front of you, like your 1 through 15, or whatever that you guys had that gave you a copy of for what you know about the case. You're going to go through it with your lawyer. Some of these questions, they might add some, they might delete some, they might edit some. So ultimately, you need to know what questions are being asked of you from this. Okay, so this is your key. All right, so Shorty, you meet with your lawyer. These are all the questions that you guys agreed upon. You're going to copy and paste these questions from here. You're going to copy and paste them into your script. So your script is in your Google Doc. So for instance, witness defendant, here's your Google Doc. There's an assignment that I gave you guys. There's a script. This is after your interviews. So here's your script. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to copy and paste. So this is what you're going to use when you're on trial for the mock trial. You're going to have this paper in front of you, and you're going to you should know what order the questions are being asked, what's being asked, and you should have responses verbatim, what you're going to say, word for word. Now again, have some fun with it. Use some personality. Don't be robotic. You can add a little bit of flair. Now again, the facts are the facts, though. Okay, the facts are the facts. Speak the facts. Speak the truth. But you don't need to be a robot. You can add a little bit of dialogue to it, if that makes sense. Okay, so don't be a robotic. You're being graded on this. So part of it is a little bit of creative writing. Part of it is obviously sticking to the facts. So I want to make that clear to you guys. So you guys can start on that after your interviews. Okay, so that should be done. So again, you're each are going over this with your lawyers. Your lawyers are going to meet with you also. You're going to help them out with this. So they're writing out during your interview, they should be writing down your name in here. This is not for you guys. You guys don't have access to this. This is for your lawyer teams. They're going to write down your name. They're going to write down, okay, they're going to ask you, well, what are the 2 most important facts that I should know about you? What are the 2 most important things about this case that can help me with this case to argue for it? So obviously, if you're a prosecution witness, what do you think are the 2 most important facts that will help them prosecute the defendants, and vice versa? If you are on the defense, what are the 2 most important things that you should tell your defense lawyers that might help them get off on the case? So that's something that you'll be talking about. Now, also, you should also, this is actually Aiden's document. You guys should be going over this with them as well. Help your lawyers out, because they have all you guys to go through in terms of your witnesses, a lot of reading. Help them. You guys can go over this with them. I think you guys should all have access to this still, even if you turned it in. I turned it back to you. Share this with them. Go over like what are your most important things that you should know, the 6 or 7 most important things. Also, your affidavit. Help them out. Be a good teammate with them. But these are some things that you can kind of go over to help them as you're kind of going through your witness statements with them. Now, last but not least, this might be maybe too ambitious. This might even be something more for next week, but just depending on kind of where you're at. So if you've already done the interview on Monday, the next assignment for the lawyers is the cross-examination assignment. So what does this mean? Let me go to the meeting really quick, this meeting doc. All right, so Preston, Joey, Shorty, Izzy, and Noah, you're on the defense team. So this document that you guys went over with your questions, this is for your defense team. This is for Emma and for Woj. Okay. Now you gotta understand that the prosecution is also going to ask you questions. So Edie and Sam is also going to ask Preston, Joey, Shorty, Izzy, and Noah some questions. So this document, the cross-examination, this is something for Edie and Sam. They're going to write down, Shorty and Joey and Noah. Then write all your names in here, and they're going to ask you questions as well. So you will eventually need to add these questions that they're going to ask you to your script as well. So you're prepared to answer their questions. Now again, this might be something for Monday. We'll kind of see kind of where you're at, but you are also going to need to meet with them as well. So exactly what's being asked, so you're not blindsided on the witness stand. Again, I want you guys to be prepped and ready to go. So we'll kind of see where you're at. You guys all have a better idea of that of me as of right now. So that's something that might need to be adjusted, but just be prepared. That might be something for maybe later on in class or maybe for Monday. All right. So, and again, vice versa. Aiden, Chelsea, Michaela, you're going to be, that cross-examination sheet is for Mallory and Emma. They're going to ask you some questions as well. And same thing for sixth period. Danny, Hunter, Michael, Jerry, and Ashton. Mal and Dan are going to ask you questions on that cross-examination as well. So eventually you will need to meet with them as well. And then vice versa with the other groups. All right, so that's the expectation. So that's what you need to be doing. Meetings, completing all the things all the edits that I wrote in there and you guys' sheets, and then eventually working on your scripts, and eventually more meetings with the other side. All right, so that's your agenda for today. I'll be around. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, adios. Bye-bye.